What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we will be doing the current UFC champion in every weight class versus the GOAT of their division. We're going to be matching them up. Obviously, as you can see, I've got all the current champions right there except Jamal Hill, but he never really lost the belt in the octagon, so we're going to count him because obviously there isn't a champion there right now. And yeah, we're going to be I've got the GOATs of every division around the screen. I'm going to drag and drop them into their matchup, and then I'm going to talk about who I think wins the matchup and why. And yeah, that's the video. So we're going to get right into this. I'm MMA Tizzer. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like so you don't miss any future content. I do stuff like this every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this. Starting off with flyweight. I think the go-to flyweight is none other than Demetrious Johnson. I think many of you will agree with me. He's really good, okay? He's the GOAT. We don't really need to talk about that because we all know how good Demetrious Johnson is. And the champion is Alexandre Pantoja. He recently beat Banjan Moreno by decision. And yeah, I think this is a really, really good matchup, first of all. I think it's close, okay? Does DJ win? I think in his prime, in his UFC era DJ, I think he probably would win. However, it'd be a close fight. The biggest downside to Pantoja is that he does tend to slow down. His cardio is one of his weaker points. He likes to get out there and try and stop his opponents early on, round 1, 2, and 3. We're looking at DJ. He has good cardio. He can go all 5 rounds, and I think DJ would do well here. I think he probably would have the advantage here. I'd give him a 60% chance to get the win. Pantoja can still do it though. He's very, very sneaky. He's tricky. He's really good at taking the back. And he's just an absolute nightmare to be grappling with. However, DJ is absolutely no slouch on the ground. The stand-up, although obviously Pantoja definitely has the power, he's more of a dog, you know. DJ's more slick, more clean. He's more sharp, more focused. He's got better head movement. His boxing is better, but he doesn't really have the power. Pantoja, he's quite happy to sit in the pocket and swing. So this would either end in probably like a first round TKO or submission for Pantoja, or Demetrious Johnson would take it late and win a decision. I think he'd win the final 3 rounds. But yeah, that is my prediction. DJ to win by decision in this fight. But I honestly really want to see this fight. I think it'd be amazing. Yeah, we move on. Bantamweight. So, bantamweight. We're going for Dominic Cruz here. The bantamweight GOAT's a bit of a tricky one. I guess you could make a case it's Aljo, but for the sake of the video, it's Dominic Cruz, okay? And the reason being is because Aljo can't fight himself. So even if you think Aljo is the GOAT, you know, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. It's really hard to tell because of bantamweight's history of not really having a defined GOAT, so to speak, because a lot of people have losses. And obviously Aljamain Sterling's been flatline KO'd before by Marlon Moraes. So it's all a bit tricky. But for the sake of the video, we just need 2 different people. So Dominic Cruz is the best thing we have to go right now that isn't Aljo. And let's be honest, guys, Aljamain Sterling destroys Dominic Cruz. He probably subs him within 3 rounds. He's got good enough cardio to go all 5. His stand-up isn't as slick as Cruz is, but then Cruz isn't like a lethal finisher, you know. Cruz is going to outpoint you, you know. Not to mention that Cruz is undersized compared to Aljamain Sterling. Sterling is a big bantamweight, you know. This guy's like 175, 180 out of camp. I think he said he was 180 in an interview I saw this week. Dominic Cruz never makes 180, okay? That guy out of camp looks like he weighs 155. He isn't big at all. He's really short, and he isn't even like broad when he's not cutting weight. So, yeah, I think he'd be really undersized. Eventually, one of Aljamain's terrible takedowns will land because he'll eventually always find one. And from then, it would just be a bit of a downhill spiral for Dominic Cruz. He'd probably get ground and pounded, get forced to give up his back, and probably lose 10-8 rounds to the back take or get subbed out by a rear naked choke. So that is my prediction for that fight. It's a shame, but we've got to be honest, Dominic Cruz, it's a really bad style matchup for him. If, you know, it was a different guy, it was a striker, he'd have a better chance. But, you know, and also we're talking about prime Cruz here. I'm not talking about 38, 39-year-old getting knocked out by Marlon Vera Cruz here. So, yeah. Anyway, we move on to the lightweight division. Khabib. I've gone for Khabib for my lightweight go. I think he is the lightweight go. And we've got the current champion, Islam Makhachev. And obviously, these guys are best friends. This fight would never happen, ever. And If it did though, it would be insane. Imagine if Khabib came back for it. Obviously he wouldn't because they're best friends. But great fight. Really high level wrestling fight. To be honest, there's a good chance it may take place on the feet. And in that event, if it did take place on the feet, I would be backing my boy Islam Makhachev to win this fight by TKO. This guy's boxing is really underrated. He had good moments against Volk, who is one of the best strikers right now. I think Islam Makhachev on the feet, very underrated, very good. He genuinely has one-shot power, good boxing. He can kick, he's got good kicks, good teeps, good body kicks. His chin might be a bit suspect. We don't know yet. He has been finished once. But on the feet, he's better than Khabib. And in the wrestling, I'm going to be honest, guys. Some of you are going to disagree with me here. I think he's a better grappler than Khabib. And I know what you're saying. But if you're looking at let's see what Makhachev did. He took down Dan Hooker and subbed him in 2 minutes. Khabib rarely sub people in the first round, okay? Dating back, he has a lot of Khabib fights. He takes them down again and again and again. He'll ground and pound them, and then the opponent will get tired, and roll and give their back up. And that's how he got a lot of his finishes. Islam just goes to the finish straight away. He's beating people before they're gassing out on the ground. He'll just take them down and go for the sub instantly. We saw it against Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, to name a few. So it's people like that. And also, not to mention, Makhachev is a lot bigger than Khabib. I think Makhachev's a good bit bigger. I think he's taller and he looks like bigger and stronger too. So that also makes me sway Makhachev, because I feel like if he's the bigger and stronger guy in there, he's going to have even more of a chance to dominate in the grappling. And we know he has 5-round cardio, but Khabib did have pretty good cardio too. He had 5-round cardio too. So yeah, it'd be a very close fight. It would probably end in decision, let's be honest. I don't think there'd be a clear victor if they were going to wrestle as well. But wow, cool. It'd be a great fight. We move on. Welterweight. So obviously the current champion is Leon Edwards. GSP is the welterweight GOAT. There's not really much debate there, is there? He is the welterweight GOAT, the man that got me into the UFC. I'm going to be honest, guys. MMA's come a long way since George St. Pierre was champion. People have improved. Most fighters are better now. And I think Leon Edwards is a very good style matchup. I think he's got a good chance against GSP here. I think he could get the win. Because if you're comparing, Usman is very similar to GSP, okay? They like to wrestle, okay? They like shooting wrestling, fairly uneventful wrestling. I know GSP has got submission wins, but he isn't like Makhachev or Oliveira, so to speak, where he's hunting for the finish on the ground at all times. He's quite happy just to lay on top of you and land a few ground and pound strikes to try and win the round. He has a lot of decision wins, GSP does. He has more decision wins than finishes. And his striking wasn't very good, okay? Leon Edwards has a clear edge in striking here. And I'm just thinking that Leon Edwards, if he does get taken down, and he has very good takedown defense, I'm thinking he gets back up. And GSP doesn't have phenomenal cardio either. We've got to remember that GSP's cardio isn't that good for so for him to shoot again and again and again and have it stuffed could be very potentially really bad news for him. He could be getting KO'd. The striking difference would be insane. I just think Leon is actually leagues above him in striking. He mixes his attacks up more. He's way more technical. He's quicker. His boxing's miles better than GSP's. He's got kind of like wrestler boxing, you know what I mean? Leon's just got actual kickboxing. And I think Leon Edwards has a really good chance to get the win here. Not to mention he has very good jiu-jitsu. He's dangerous off his back. I know obviously Usman isn't very dangerous on the ground, like in the terms of submissions, and GSP is definitely more threatening. But I still think Leon's jiu-jitsu would allow him to survive on the ground, be fine, even threaten triangles, arm bars, etc., kimuras. So Leon Edwards. I am actually picking Leon Edwards to beat GSP. I think he would beat him. I think it's a bad style matchup for GSP. Someone with good takedown defense, better striking, and good enough ground game to get back up and not get finished. So yeah, Leon Edwards would beat GSP in my opinion. We move on. So obviously middleweight, Adesanya is the champion. Many people consider Adesanya the GOAT. Maybe, I get why you can say that. However, for the sake of the video, Adesanya versus Adesanya doesn't work. So we're having Adesanya versus Anderson Silva. However, they have fought and Adesanya won. So you could say Adesanya would win. However, we're going to be taking prime Anderson Silva. Okay, this is a hypothetical matchup. We're rewinding the clock here, and yeah, I think Anderson Silva definitely stands a much better chance in his prime. But again, who's to say Izzy won't just leg kick at range? Entirely possible. I think Adesanya would just leg kick at range. As simple as that. He's bigger than Silva, I think. And yeah, I just think he just leg kick at range, teep. And that's about it, really. I think it would just be a really boring fight, kind of like their real fight. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd be overly different. I think Adesanya would win a decision. I think he'd win probably 4-1. I think Anderson would maybe have some good moments in run round, land maybe a good shot or two. But other than that, I think he just get outpointed. And it's unfortunately the truth. Also, by the way, I know you're going to comment, why didn't I put featherweight? Because Volk is the featherweight GOAT. And if he isn't, it's Holloway. He's beat Holloway. And if it isn't Holloway, it's Aldo. He's beat Aldo. So, Volk, there's no point even talking about him. He beats every featherweight there is. But yeah, so middleweight, there ain't much to say there, is there? We kind of know how that fight would go. So yeah, I'm taking Adesanya by decision by an extremely, extremely, extremely boring fight. We move on. Light heavyweight. Jamal Hill, I'm calling him the champion. I know he isn't the champion. However, there is no champion right now. And, he didn't lose the belt by a fight. He lost it by an injury. So we're going to count him for the sake of the video. And obviously, the light heavyweight GOAT is John Jones, who is a cheater. And if we're saying John Jones dodging USADA edition, John Jones is taking the W here. I'm going to be honest, guys. John Jones is winning. However, if we're taking Natty John Jones, who I don't even know if we've ever seen in the octagon, I think he's beatable, okay? I don't think he's tremendously good. Jamal Hill is actually quite a tough style matchup for John Jones. He's fairly big for a light heavyweight. He's not a small light heavyweight. So that immediately means John Jones is actually going to have to fight a challenge, because John Jones seems to struggle with every actual light heavyweight. He just seemed to easily finish the middleweights that couldn't be bothered to cut weight. And when you see the big light heavyweights like Reyes or even Thiago Santos to a degree, who isn't even that big, might I add, he struggles with them. So there you go. Jamal Hill would be a challenge. He's got fairly good grappling, fairly good wrestling. He won't get subbed, I don't think, in this fight. And he's actually got better boxing than John Jones. John Jones's boxing is one of the most overrated things ever. John Jones has never ever stopped anyone with boxing in his career, so no one can tell me any different. Jamal Hill has multiple knockouts, and he's just slicker, a better head movement. And John Jones, yeah, I think he'd just run around the cage and he'd try and win a decision. He'd try and grapple probably. Having said that, however, light heavyweight John Jones isn't actually as good as grappling as everyone thinks. Look what he did to Dom Reyes. He could hardly take Dominic Reyes down. When he did take him down, he didn't do amazingly. So he got right back up. So lightweight John Jones might have had a few holes in his game, and Jamal Hill might have been the one to expose them. Jamal Hill actually surprisingly does have 5-round cardio. He doesn't kind of look like the kind of guy that would have 5-round cardio. Not gonna lie, sorry Jamal Hill if you're watching this, bro, but you don't look like you can go 5 rounds, but you can, so respect. I think he's a good matchup for John Jones. I think it's a good challenge. I actually think this would be closer than a lot of people think. This would probably be Jamal Hill would get a finish, or get a very close decision, or John Jones would get a decision. And it honestly goes either way. I genuinely think this fight is maybe like 55% John Jones wins, because it's John Jones, so he's going to get the judges' scorecards 9 out of 10 times, and also he can eye poke freely and cheat freely, whereas Jamal Hill would literally not be able to eye poke once, otherwise he'd get an immediate point deduction. But yeah, this would be a closer fight than people think. John Jones struggled with the bigger guys at light heavyweight, and that is a fact. And Jamal Hill is constantly improving with every fight. So who's to say that this wouldn't be the fight where John Jones actually loses on the official scorecards instead of the rigged ones? But very tough fight to call. If it's going to decision, let's be honest, guys, John Jones has got an advantage because the judges absolutely adore him. So give me John Jones by a very, very tight decision. But I could also see Jamal Hill getting a finish. So yeah, we move on to heavyweight. Obviously, John Jones is the heavyweight champion right now, and I don't really like the heavyweight GOAT idea because, to be honest, I don't really think there is one. Because everyone at heavyweight has had a bad loss at some point. So I guess, it's Stipe Miocic. However, he hasn't looked good as of late. He's been knocked out by Miocic before, and he got absolutely destroyed by Ngannou in the rematch. Okay, so your GOAT is getting destroyed in 2 rounds by Ngannou, who doesn't even fight in the UFC anymore. So he's not really the GOAT. He's not like greatest, is he? Because when you think great, you think undefeated. Stipe Miocic is far from undefeated, and he loses to John Jones again. I'm going to be honest, heavyweight John Jones would destroy Stipe. He will destroy Stipe because they're fighting. Stipe is just, at this point, we've got to be honest, he's an old man. He's not particular. His wrestling's decent. It's average. His boxing is average. His power isn't overly dangerous unless he gets a really good shot. And he's undersized. John Jones will be about 25 pounds heavier than him. And I just can't see Stipe winning. If he is going to win, it's probably going to be by decision if Jones gasses, because we haven't seen that cardio at heavyweight. But yeah, I don't know. Stipe, not amazing. I always thought he was a little bit overrated. He's just average at everything, but at heavyweight, that's enough, because, if you're not beating them in striking, he'll just take down the heavyweights. And the old heavyweights couldn't do anything about that, but the new generation, Witt can, they're better, and a lot of them would beat Stipe. And I also think John Jones would beat Stipe. That's not really a hot take at all. It's not very controversial. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Let me know down in the comments below what other GOAT matchups you think would win and why. Leave the like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Don't want to miss any of my content. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I really appreciate it. See ya.